Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and we're starting a new season of Charter Moms Chats. And I'm so excited to talk with the new principal at Royal Public Schools. So our guest today is Gabby Patton, and she is getting things running. The school year starts next week at Royal Public Schools. And before we got on the air, we were talking about all the moving parts that have to come together in order to start a great school year for kids. So, Gabby, thanks for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, well, okay. So you're new at Royal Public Schools. I'm so lucky that I've been able to like visit the campus, and I've kind of watched the journey of the school opening. But I'm wondering, could you tell us what appealed to you the most about Royal Public Schools, made you want to become the school leader at Royal?
Absolutely. I love talking about this. So, fundamentally, the mission and the vision that Dr. Tareem has for Royal Public Schools is absolutely inspirational. I think too often as educators, we overlook the necessity of the whole student, right? And a lot of times we say things like, we nurture the whole student or we care for the whole student, and we do in our hearts, right? But that can get lost when we get new house bills and when we get new curriculums and things like that. And so it can become, not secondary, but we believe it so much that we don't always interpret it into every aspect of our program. However, at Royal, that is 100% has been my experience, and it's 100% the reason why I applied. There are a lot of components to Royal that are very near and dear to my heart, such as project-based learning, social emotional guidance and education within the daily curriculum. My previous experience has been that social emotional learning is a class that students take. But we're really looking to make it an integrated approach within our program, and really teaching teachers how to have social, emotionally competent and safe classrooms and instruction. And so that in and of itself absolutely drew me to Royal. And then also the opportunity to work alongside Dr. Tareem is a great privilege. He is such a trailblazer in the charter community, and his vision is just one that we align very much, very student-centered, student first, and that means a lot to me, especially as a leader. Previously, I founded schools for networks, and I have loved that job, and I've loved those schools. But finding something that is hand in glove is difficult, and I really think that I found it at Royal. Just the love of learning and the love of developing children to be contributing members of society, not just college students, is such a cool mission to be a part of, especially here on the South Side, where we know our students deserve the same opportunities that every other community and every other school deserves. And it's so refreshing and wonderful to be a part of a school that's actually delivering those things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you touched on so many good points. I completely agree. Being around Soner is so inspiring. He has so much energy. He has so many ideas. He has like so much experience, and like the fact that like it's like, aren't you tired after all the things you've done in your career? No, he's
Exactly.
ready to like go into building mode again. So
Yes.
it's yeah, yeah.
He really is. And I mean, he's here every day, like he's in the building every day. He's just a phone call away, which is wonderful for me. And we both have a similar work style, which is one that really never sleeps. So it's really nice to like kind of be on board with someone but yeah, I mean, you nailed it. He knows every founding family still, he knows each student as they exit their vehicle. He knows each teacher and their story. It's just a really beautiful thing to be a part of. And I'm so, so, so honored to have been brought on and to be trusted with this responsibility. It's a dream, truly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you made a really important point about okay, so like every charter school I've encountered, it it's created because there's a reason to be different, right? There's offering something novel, something you're not finding maybe in a neighborhood public school.
Mhm.
There's an original vision about what this school can offer. But the challenge is how to implement that, how to make that happen every minute, in every classroom. And that, that takes leadership and training and teamwork. And, and it sounds like what you're excited about is you're getting to participate in that, and that commitment to quality. And that you mentioned like the project-based learning and the social emotional learning, that those, what important principles those are, but they can really animate like every minute in the classroom.
Yep, absolutely. It is a difficult task, and it is also a difficult task for a founder to bring someone in, to trust them with their vision, to see that through. And so to be the person that he's trusting to do that is incredible. And it absolutely requires everything that you're speaking of. We have to train teachers, we have to train staff, we have to train everyone, and not only train them, but continuously develop them, which is a different task in and of itself, to continuously train and coach and develop teachers. But it's one that we absolutely believe in, and we've seen the benefit of it. And so we are ecstatic to put it into motion. Actually, just over PD, we had a trauma-informed learning session for teachers, for them to learn how to start implementing SEL strategies within their classroom, and how to recognize the difference between a behavior and a trigger, and what that can look like for our students in our community. And then, of course, on the other side of that is offering something that most students don't get to experience on the South Side, unfortunately, which is our Stream 360, which is a corporation of science, technology, engineering, and math, as well as the arts. So we have music, we have art, we have theater club. We're working on like a mock trial. There's lots of great things that we're doing that allow students to explore every avenue that they're interested in. And that's just not something that I've seen in any school, let alone one here on the South Side. So it's, again, I will continue to say it's a very beautiful mission and vision to be a part of. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to interrupt for just a little bit. We have a comment from a viewer. Let's see. Vanessa is going to be, she's a royal parent. She said her son is going to start in second grade.
hi, Miss Guzman. I just saw your notification pop up. It is so exciting. I'm so excited to welcome the founding families. I'm excited. Y'all are excited for the changes. Thank y'all for being so patient with us as we're transitioning. It has been a lot, and we have been working so hard to make sure that the first day of school is just perfect. And I know they've been hearing from the parents, have been hearing from their teachers the past couple days, and will tomorrow. And so we just really appreciate our founding families. They have been like a rock, like so far. I've called, I've sent out things. Please be patient. Please bear with us. And they've just been wonderful. So I'm really excited to be able to bring these opportunities to them as well.
Yeah. And so you mentioned Streams 360.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my chance to plug that on our website, sachartermoms.com, we have an enrollment guide blog post all about Royal, and there's a link to it in the description of the video. So I encourage folks to visit that. It's got links that can take you to the Royal website, things like that. But one of the things we touch on in the blog post is Streams 360. I remember Soner showing me his PowerPoint and all these beautiful charts and like how it brings all these pieces together. But so I was wondering if you talk more about the academics. I think that's one of the things that to me is so exciting about Royal, is that this is an area of town that's been historically underserved. Students haven't been given opportunity for a college preparatory education, or an education that just gives them the whole range of choices for their career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so. And Streams 360 is Soner's vision of how that comes to life. So
Yes.
yeah.
And it's truly incredible. Like you said, there's a lot of preparatory, like there's a lot on the South Side that is coming up now, right? There's a lot of college preparatory courses, but something that Soner and I have discussed, and that we've discussed with our staff, is that four-year college, we want all of our students to have that option, but we understand that might not be everybody's path or dream. And so we want them to be the best that they can be, no matter what they choose to do, right? If that's a trade, if it's the arts, if it's a traditional 4-year, we want them to be prepared. And so he created this idea of Streams 360, which is a full incorporation of both STEM, which is our traditional science, technology, engineering, and math, and the arts, which is where you see that A and then the M. And then the S is for our emotional learning. And so our social emotional learning is within that as well. And how that looks with academics is we offer the same high level, high rigor academics that you would see at any of the high performing charter schools. Amplify for our ELAR, Eureka Math, and Carnegie Math for our middle, for our mathematics for both our elementary and our middle. And then we also offer PhD science, and we offer, we're going through a brand new history program. We're super excited. And that is actually created by social studies teachers who have taken the standards and have created more rigorous techniques to help students get more out of their social studies experience. Traditionally, social studies have been a little bit underplayed because it's not tested as frequently. And so we're adopting this new curriculum. We're embedding the SEL into the classes every day by having our counselor and one of our other assistant principals, who are social emotional certified learners and behavior specialists, create a curriculum for the teachers to teach within their subject. So as opposed to when students would have a SEL block or class, they will actually start each part of their lesson with an SEL component. It may be a real world connection. It may be a pulse check on our feelings. And then we're also implementing restorative practices when it comes to discipline. So as opposed to a very punitive or suspension-based system, we're actually teaching students how to recognize conflict and work on it with each other. And we're also teaching teachers how to recognize conflict with students and how to make amends so that we create like a respectful and equitable learning environment. So that's how we really incorporate the SEL into everything. The way that we incorporate everything into everything is actually within our day-to-day schedule. Students receive the same amount of STEM as they do art and learning. And so they have equal parts of those two components, and they're experiencing them every day. And then additionally, on top of that, we are project based. So what that looks like is a culminating project at the end of a semester or quarter that demonstrates to students deep internalized knowledge of each subject through one project. A beautiful example of this was actually something that the former principal, Ms. Hines, had the students do over summer school. And she had the students work on a reader's theater and brought it to life in a full production. And so the students were able to incorporate math and science by learning how to take measurements and create the props for the play. They went to art and made those props. They then learned how to disaggregate genres and how to become actors. So they learned the genre of an ELA, and then they became the actors on stage, and they put it together in one performance, and it was a truly beautiful project. And we have so many more of those planned throughout the year. I'm so excited. And then, we also get to incorporate outside learning opportunities with that as well. The Doseum, looking at like Santikos does their Astronaut for a Day program and letting students really have hands-on experience in their project building.
Yeah, wow, that's a great like talking about the play and how it integrated all these different subjects, and the students had like this culminating experience of being able to present the play. That's a great description of project-based learning. 'Cause I worry sometimes about that. I've been working on the blog long enough that I get familiar with the terms, but I always want to make sure that our readers feel like it's accessible and that they can I hope that every time somebody watches one of these interviews that they come away with like understanding better, like, oh, that's what project-based learning is about. And like, the power it has for being able to motivate students that they can work as part of a team. And it doesn't necessarily feel like, oh, now we're studying ELAR. It's like, oh, I'm learning my part in the play. So
Yes. Yes. It's all about the real world connections. We tend to drop those as educators sometimes because we have so much content to get through. And so, we want them to learn everything. And sometimes we tend to forget the most important way to do that is to connect it to something that students know and to build that learning within them. I'm sure that all of us, if we think about one of our favorite teachers, it was not the person who taught math the best. It was the person who made you as a student connect to math the best. And so that's really what we're emphasizing is you can be whoever you want to be, but we want you to be the best you can be. And so we want to provide you with every opportunity we can to do that, both through the curriculum and through our extracurricular opportunities.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. My next question is about school culture because I want to try to, paint a picture of what school culture is like. But you've already, foreshadowed a lot of this because you're talking about project-based learning. You talked about the social emotional learning, the fact that there's so many arts experiences, hands-on experiences, field trips, clubs. So, but are there sort of traditions and events that are kind of emerging as part of the culture at Royal Public Schools?
Yeah, so I'm still learning a lot of the really fun traditions, and I've heard so many cool things. I've heard about like ice cream Fridays. I've heard about some different attendance things that we have going on. One of the things that I'm really passionate about is student to student or peer to peer learning. And so, something I'm really excited about with having middle and elementary is creating a learning buddy system. We are in this really unique spot where we get to take the things that were really beautiful about Royal before and integrate them into some new ideas while we grow. And so traditions, we're forming them as they speak, but we are starting under this idea of collaboration, teamwork, and project. And so with that, starting a buddy system or like a peer tutoring system where we have an older student with a younger student. I remember when I was in fifth grade, I had a kindergarten buddy and it was the coolest thing. And so I think that provides it provides a ton of social opportunities, but also in-depth learning opportunities for our older students. The best way to learn something is to teach it. And so if we can have older students coming in and kind of mentoring and working with students to teach them the royal way in the lower grades, then we can start to build those traditions together. So those are the types of things that we are looking to build. We are also going to be implementing Fun Friday. That is one of our new traditions, in which we have actually moved the club time. Prior to this year, clubs were at the end of the day. And so, or after school, excuse me, they were after school. And so unfortunately for our students who had to leave right after, they didn't really get to experience the club side of Royal. We've actually integrated that into our Friday blocks. So now every student will get an opportunity to be in different clubs and try different clubs throughout the year so that they can experience all of those fun extracurricular things like gardening or mock trial. And so we're really, really excited about that. And, we're excited to bring our kiddos along on the journey and have them start their own traditions too.
Yeah. Well, and the way you're describing Fun Friday and having some club activities during the school day, like that creates more belonging and more inclusiveness. And
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, that's
Absolutely. And
that's
we
really
want them
important.
to feel like it's their school. One of the things that impressed me the most about Royal, aside from on paper, was when I came to visit, everything in the school building was the students' work. There was nothing on the walls. There was no part of the school that was not touched by the students' actual work, their artwork, their academic work. And for me, I was like, wow, it would be so cool to be a kid here because I would know I belong here. And that's how I feel as a leader as well. Like I feel like I belong here and I want kids to feel that way. And we all want kids to feel that way. And Sonner has done an incredible job, even with, I mean, not even with, especially with Miss Hines prior to me, right? She laid the groundwork and she created that sense of belonging with her motto, we touch hearts and then we touch minds. And so, really carrying that tradition through Royal is something that we really, really want to do. And I'm very thankful to be able to carry that torch, even though it might look a little different this year.
Yeah. I remember our team visited the campus and we were able to sit down with two grandmothers who and they were like, we all just got so emotional talking about like what an impact Royal had on their grandchildren and how like how much support they felt like they got from the staff of like whatever issues that came up all how strong the communication was and you talked about like Sonar like knowing the families knowing this kid goes in this card, this is their
Yep.
name, this is their siblings, like that's really important, like having that sense of community.
Absolutely. I don't think it can be overstated how much that means to a community to have the founder of the school be so committed to a student's success that they are here every single day. And his job is one that I do not envy. I know he is a busy, busy man. And the fact that he still prioritizes our campus and our school and our families is incredible. And it really does lay the groundwork for what we expect in our staff and our students here as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I, um, you mentioned earlier that that well, okay, you mentioned earlier, you talked about how important the founding families are and how patient they've been, and like you've been notifying them about like this might change and this is going to change, bear with us. And but and so like I'm sure it's like a little disruptive but also kind of exciting for them to be part of something that's growing. So I don't know, are there other changes like you mentioned about Fun Friday? Are there other like sort of changes that are coming to Royal that you can share about?
Of course. Yes, yes, yes. We have actually a lot of changes coming to Royal. One of them, which cannot be understated, is we are growing. We have doubled our enrollment and then some. Yeah, we're super excited. So on Monday, we are, instead of opening our doors to 160 students, we are opening our doors to 106 to 360-ish students. Yep, and probably more to come. And we are so excited about it. In that, we have added 7th and 8th grade. And so we are enrolling K through 8 now, and that has been a really fun experience. My background prior to my previous role as a principal was actually middle and high school, so I'm very excited to welcome middle schoolers back into my domain. And with that, we have changed. We've made a couple of adjustments to our arrival and our dismissal time. So now we offer AM care as early as 6:45. So students can be dropped off and will be with one of our assistant principals, Miss Vera, in the cafeteria. She will be with them until 6:45. She is actually another wonderful addition. We are welcoming a second assistant principal, for which I am eternally grateful. um, and we also have welcomed a new student recruitment and family engagement coordinator. Her name is Miss Sulema Ruiz, and she has done an incredible job recruiting and engaging families. If my families are here listening, you've heard her call probably one so many times, and she's the one sending out our emails and handling all of those things. Truly an incredible woman. So now our dismissal is, we're just switching it a little bit. We're tacking on an extra 15 minutes. So we used to dismiss at 3:30. Now we're dismissing at 3:45. Reason being, we want to provide each and every student a snack before they leave for the day. And so something we had done previously was students who stayed for after school care received their snack, but we've realized that this is something that every student should have no matter what. And so we're incorporating that into the day. So we've extended it 15 minutes to allow for that. Additionally, we are welcoming, 6 new teachers who are, yes, excellent, excellent, excellent teachers who come to us with a variety of experience, but all of them are 4+ years experience in the field, and have some incredible data to back that up. Additionally, we are also starting a teacher communication teacher communication flow in which parents can expect to hear from their teachers on a weekly basis. So every single week, parents should be hearing from their teachers about their student, and we're very excited about that. And amongst that is our Class Dojo store. So we've used Classroom
Ooh.
Dojo, but now we're going to be using it to actually allow students to purchase really fun gifts and things like that once a month. And yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. We have changes on top of changes on top of changes over here. But those are the really big ones, especially for our families. I think those are probably the most important.
Yeah.
But most of our grades are going from 1 cohort to 2 or 3. So students will have multiple teachers throughout the day. That's a huge, huge change for a lot of our families. And we're super excited because we only hired the best. And I think everybody's going to love them.
Yeah, that's exciting. So each grade level is going to have a team, and each, that's great because then always teachers have special strengths or special interests, and just experiences that they bring to the school.
Yeah, I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. Wow, that is a lot though. So a lot more students, all the
Yep.
way up to middle school.
Yep.
The before school care, I'm going to mention that in the group. That's a question that comes up in the oh, this is a chance for me to plug the Facebook discussion group. All kinds of questions, but early morning care is a question that comes up. Some families need that for their work schedule, and
Absolutely.
um, yeah, that's good to know. It's part of making high quality education accessible to as many families as possible.
Yes.
It's
And
really important.
that's something that we notice is that if you have to be at work at 7, it's really hard to drop your kids off at 7. So we've opened that up a bit so that parents can have that opportunity. We're piloting buses at the moment. So we will see how.
Oh, looks like Gabby, her screen dropped out just a little bit, but hopefully she can rejoin us in just a second. So I'm just going to recap some of the things she was talking about um, the changes. Okay, so kindergarten through eighth grade, early care starts as early as 6:45 a.m. Dismissal is going to be at 3:45 p.m. Um, so that if that way every student gets a snack, not just the students that are in after school care. Um, and let's see, there's an additional assistant principal, Ms. Vera. She talked about Sulema Ruiz, who's the recruiter um, that a lot of the new families have spoken with. She said they've hired 6 new teachers. She talked about parent-teacher communication and the class dojo store. Okay, see, let me see if Miss Gabby is reaching out to me. Let's see if she'll be able to rejoin. I heard her computer ping. Um, Hopefully she'll be able to come back on. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to talk about some of the ways that y'all can get in touch with Royal Public Schools. So their website is royaltx.org. And the reason I'm spelling everything out is for folks who are maybe listening on the podcast and don't have it on their screen. So the address is 4018 South Presa Street, San Antonio, Texas 78223. So that's just a little bit south of downtown. Oh, hey, Gabby's back. Hey.
So sorry. I don't know what happened. I was like, we got to get up and going.
Yes, great job. Okay, I filled a little time using my banners, and I was kind of recapping what you had said about all these new changes. But it's really exciting, like especially parent-teacher communication is something that I'm really passionate about. Like something we shared in the blog is things from like Learning Heroes, and they have these like guidelines of like how parents can reach out to teachers and try to get that communication going. But parents don't always have the time or the skill set to get
Right.
that going. And so if the teachers are already, being trained and encouraged to have systems so that they can reach out to the parents and make them
Yeah.
feel welcome, that's really important.
Yes. They're actually already calling currently. That is also a huge passion of mine, is making sure that parents are 100% in the loop at all times. In schools, things change so frequently, especially charter schools, when we have a lot of different grants that come through, or we have a lot of different pilots that we're getting ready to try. A lot of times the state likes to use charter schools to implement new curriculum. And so it's, making sure that parents are in the loop for those things is super, super critical. So we actually use 2 forms of communication. We use our classroom dojo, which we encourage all parents to log in, have the app downloaded. But also, as I mentioned, teachers are expected to make contact with each of their parents from their homeroom on a weekly basis. And then they'll actually switch to their second or third cohort every 2 weeks. So you should be hearing from all of your teachers throughout the week, probably multiple times, honestly. So there's no such thing as too much communication in my mind, especially when we are protecting and taking care of little ones. There's never too much. And in addition to that, we actually just put out our first edition of our weekly newsletter to families today. And so we will be having that on a weekly basis as well. Super excited about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's such important tools, and it's great that y'all are showing up in so many different ways. So whichever way that the parent can receive it, whether it's the newsletter or the app or email or phone or whatever, like that's the important thing, is that relationship is there. And as the parent who has gotten calls of my kids being in trouble, it's so refreshing to get a call. Gabby's back. Okay, on the computer. Yay. Um,
Yes.
It's great to get, I was just saying, like, if as a parent, if you feel like anytime the school contacts you, it means your kid's in trouble,
Right.
that's stressful. But if
Right.
you feel like most of the contacts are, "Hey, I just wanna tell you what's going on," or like, "Hey, your kid had a great day, this is what happened," like, then it makes it easier to listen when, like, "Hey,
Absolutely.
we had to have a little
Yeah.
restorative practices today because this happened."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the same as, us adults. Like, no one wants to hear from their boss when it's just bad things, right? Like, we all want to know what we're doing well at. And ultimately, the relationship between the school and the parents is a partnership. We can't do what we do without our parents. And we like to provide as much as we can to our parents as well, whether it be resources or whether it be just day to day support. We want to help. It's already difficult enough being a parent, and we understand that. And so
Yeah.
we would just want to try to make it as mutual and as comfortable of a partnership as possible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so we've covered all the questions that I had in mind, but I don't want to rush you. Like, if there's any particular things you want to highlight, and then I always like to close out with like the contact info and how people can reach you, how they can, because maybe Royal is still such a new school,
Yeah.
and I feel like there's just a lot more families in San Antonio that need to know about Royal Public Schools.
Yes, it is so new, and honestly, that is something that we are still trying to do is get the word out. We are here to serve students, and we are so genuinely and deeply invested in that goal. And we want as many students who are in need of a place like Royal to be able to come to a place like Royal. So if there's anything that I actually would love to highlight is that we are still currently enrolling, and we will be continuously enrolling throughout the year, because we want our students to have that opportunity, and we want our community to have that opportunity. Of course, like all charter schools, we are completely a choice school. You do not have to live on the South Side to come to Royal. And we can even work with you on transportation and things like that. A couple stipulations there, but we're always willing to make accommodations wherever we can. And just, yeah, we're looking forward to an incredible school year. And again, to our families who are on, thank you so much for being patient with us. Administrative transition is hard in general, not to mention when you have a doubling of enrollment. There are so many curveballs that come, and they're all super fun, but they definitely are curveballs. I appreciate our families so much for being so consistent with us and so patient and so understanding. And I'm just excited to start on our first day. I'm ready to get the ball rolling. I can't wait to meet all of our kiddos. But if you are looking for a place for your students, we are open and we are here and we're ready to take you on in K through 8.
Yeah, this is so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna use my little banners here. So Gabby Patton is the principal at Royal Public Schools. The website is royaltx.org. So they are currently serving grades K through 8. They're going to keep adding another grade every year, but we're focused on this year right now. And they are still enrolling. And the royaltx.org website has the application. It's simple. It's free application. And this is a tuition-free school. I should emphasize that. So public charter schools are tuition-free public schools.
Yes.
The main number is 210-531-0300, and you can also drive by the campus. So it's just south of downtown. So 4018 South Presa Street. It's a beautiful historic. We haven't even touched on this, but it's a beautiful historic building. It's like over 100 years old. It used to be a Catholic school, right? In a convent? No,
Yes.
Catholic school. Yes.
Yeah. And then
Beautiful
it was
building.
New Frontiers had it before we did, and we
Yeah.
completely renovated the inside. It's actually is a beautiful campus. Beautiful, beautiful school.
Yeah, yeah, like beautiful, like these, like the big rooms where everyone can gather, and there's these like
Mhm.
arched windows and natural, like all the new windows. I was blown away. That
Yes.
transformed the
It
building.
is so
Yeah,
beautiful. All the natural light. It is wonderful to be in a school with natural light in every classroom. It's truly gorgeous. It is a gorgeous
yeah,
school.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and anyone wanting to reach Ms. Patton herself, it's gpatton@royaltx.org. That's her email address. So, um, boy, I am so excited. Like I mean, Royal Public Schools, like a great vision from Soner, the founder, and you're bringing in so much energy and these new systems that's going to help bring that vision into every minute of the classroom with the project-based learning and the social emotional and all this communication with the parents. I'm really excited for for all the families at Royal.
Thank you. I'm excited too. I'm really, really excited. It's going to be a great year. We're amped. We're ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so August 14th, first day of school. I'll be thinking about you guys.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take care. Thanks, Gabby.
Bye, Inga. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.